everyone, Hashtag My here. Welcome to our second tutorial video where we are going to learn how to use layouts and panels inside Blender. Blender has got an interface which we call panels, or which interface is subdivided in different panels. And right now what we are seeing is what we call the layout panel. Yes, you can see that it is highlighted when we go up here. But there is also what we call modeling, there is sculpting, UV editing, texture paint, and so many others, as we shall be going through them step by step or one by one. Let's first understand or go through the layout panel. The layout panel is divided into 4 subsections. This is what we call the 3D viewport. We have these which we call the outliners. We have properties, and there is what we call the timeline. But these panels are scalable. That is, you can increase their sizes as you want by pressing Ctrl space on your keyboard. For example, if I want to increase or to make the 3D viewport larger, then I'll press Ctrl space. I'll press Ctrl space on my keyboard and I'll have a wider view. Then still press Ctrl space to get back to the original size, and the same applies to the other categories. Where you want to increase the size is where you press your cursor. So if I want to increase the size of the outliners, so I make sure that the cursor is here, then I press Ctrl space, then Ctrl space to get back to the original size. And the same applies to the properties panel and the timeline. This is what we call the timeline. So if I want to increase its size, still I press Ctrl space, then Ctrl space to get back to the original size. Then if you want to change the view mode, because currently what we are seeing or what we are into is what we call the solid mode, you press Z on your keyboard. Remember, in the first video I told you that it is very important to learn how to use shortcuts because they simplify work. So we've got different modes. This is the solid mode. That's why you see it is highlighted with blue. But we also have what we call the material view, wireframe, and rendered mode. And rendered mode. We have different settings, such as the 3D cursor. This is what we call the 3D cursor, but it has also got its settings. Right. Let me get back to the solid mode. I was talking about the 3D cursor. It also has different settings, and to see those settings, you press Shift space on your keyboard. Shift space. Guess you can see there is select box, cursor, move, rotate, scale, transform, and so many others. But we can also get these settings from here. Select box, cursor, move, rotate, and so many others. If you want to hide, for instance, if you want to hide this, you press you press T on your keyboard, then it will disappear, and to bring it back still you do the same, you press T. So if you happen to wake up and you're not seeing the quick tools, we call them the quick tools, don't panic. Just press T on your keyboard and it will display again. I've talked about the quick settings. There are also other settings, and to view them or to see them, you press N on your keyboard. So we have these settings. There is item. If you click on it, this is for item, tools, then there is view. Yes, you can see how they look like. Now let's go through the property panel, but we shall get to understand it more when we begin to use the tools under it. Each tool, remember, each tool has got different settings, as we shall be seeing them more and more. So this is what we call, let me put back these tools, still I'll press N. So let's go through the properties panel. This one, I see it has, the layout has different categories. This is the 3D viewport. These are outliners. These are properties, and this is what we call the timeline. So right now, let's go through the properties or see the tools under properties. So if you click on this tool, active tool, which looks like a spanner, maybe it's like a spanner. Active tool, what it does, so if I press on it, active tool, this will be showing you the tools which are active. Then we have the render properties. This will be helping us in rendering our final images or videos as the clients want them to be. Remember, each tool has different settings within it. Then we have what we call the output properties. This shows the size of your image or video, the resolution, where you're going to put it, the frame rates, and so many others. This is the view layer properties, scene properties. So let's talk more about the scene properties. Anything within the view, the 3D viewport is called a scene. And under this, we shall be seeing which camera is active, the audio you are using, gravity, and so many others. This globe is what we call the world properties. Now this works on issues like how the environment inside Blender looks like, the background colors you are using, to mention by a few. Then lastly, because there are so many tools, let's look at what we call the modifiers, because it is very, very, very important, and it has got different settings. So modifiers, if I click on this drop down menu, you see we have got different categories of modifiers. We have these amateur clothing, so many of these, but we shall see them as we begin to do the practical bit of it. Still, there is here what we call add. You can press here and get them, or you can press Shift A to get the different modifiers or types. So today's video has been kind of long. Thanks for watching. Let's meet in the next video, where we're going to see how to transform objects and meshes inside Blender. Don't forget to subscribe, comment, and like.